Now, the management of the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, CSWA, has described accusations leveled against the agency of refusing to pay suppliers of water for government's Free Water Initiative as part of COVID-19 relief package to rural and small towns and villages as false and unsubstantiated. According to the Chief Executive of CSWA, Wolanyo Kojo Siabi, the agency is in the process of validating data presented by the Association of Small Towns Water Supply Systems before payments are made.
The water service providers, they are supposed to submit this data to our regional offices in all the regions. Then our regional offices will collate, because there are so many of these providers, so they are supposed to collate all of them based on districts and regions, and then submit to our head office so we can then pay. There are a lot of difficulties, and I will tell you some of the difficulties that come up with the information that we want. You have provided service, bring us information according to a certain format so that we can understand, our ministry can understand, Ministry of Finance can also understand. The resources will be provided by Ministry of Finance. They should understand the data. Otherwise, it will be difficult for them to just give us money, go and pay. Pay who? How much? What amount of water have they provided? You know, so some of the problems we had. We have provided service April, May, and June already. We asked the providers, give us your data. Some have provided April, some have provided up to May. June they haven't provided. Okay. Now, we have also noted that they have set aside the guidelines and provided the information the way they want it. Somebody just, a provider just wrote, April, I have given, I'm just using an amount of money. We have provided, and the total amount is 150,000. So kindly take the necessary steps to pay us. Okay. They didn't tell us how much water they have supplied. They didn't tell us how much a unit, what cubic meter cost. You know, there is no other information. That is it. Some have submitted electricity cost to us. And when we check, you see, we have noted when we started the reforms that most of these water systems in the communities, they have outstanding bill over 40 million cedis. That is the quantum of outstanding bills they have in their name with ECG, VRA, and GridCo. So within this period, they realized that, okay, this is a chance to pay all these things. So they included this as being the electricity they have paid within the period. But we have to validate. You have to tell us how much you have paid. We have to go to the electricity companies and find out whether it is true. You know, we have this as one of the challenges.
That's Live on the Pulse with me, Daniel Daze. Now let's go back to that story where the CSWA says government is ready to pay for claims once validations are completed.
We have made an arrangement to validate, collect the data, validate it, and pay. So once we are sure that you have provided free water, you will be paid. You see, we also have to make sure we look at the cost of water. You can't come and say that, okay, I have fixed my tariff. I'm going to charge you, for every cubic meter, I will charge you, 20 cedis. When PURC has agreed that it should be like this, or CSWA has agreed that it should be like this. So we are looking at all of this. And a number of providers are just taking advantage and trying to provide figures that are not justified. Now, we have been looking at this data for almost a week. And today is the last day that they will submit the validated data, and then we will pay. We will pay advance to all the providers where we have we are sure that the data is clean. What we are trying to do is we will present their data as it is, and then we will also present what we think from the conversation we had with the community members. And then some of them will say, oh, we couldn't measure the water we have provided. Yeah, so, because if you have a certain population of a community, if you have 200 people in a community, we know how much, at least, approximately how much water they can use. So we are using all of this for all of us to agree, to have a common agreement. Then we can pay them. So what we are trying to do is we'll pay them in advance, and then we'll submit the SX.